Welcome, everybody. I would like to thank everyone for being here on this beautiful day for the dedication of the Middlesex Community College Memorial Garden. At this time, I would like everybody to salute or to put their hands over your heart for the national anthem. Jessica?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready? Put! Thank you so much. Thank you, Jessica. And now we're going to have a melody by the Middletown PBA Pipes and Drum. Okay, thank you, Captain Wallace and our bagpiper. So I'm going to start off with talking about a veteran. A veteran, whether active duty, retired, National Guard, or Reserve, is someone who at one point in his or her life pledged to serve this country and protect the freedoms that we have today. They wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount of up to and including their life. It is an honor for me to be standing here with all of you veterans, and I want to say thank you for all your service. Middlesex Community College veterans received a $5,000 Home Depot Community Impact Grant for this project, and with the help of Pam Frost, John Morris, and Middletown veterans, we all became contractors, laborers, and gardeners. The MxCC Veterans Memorial Garden is first and foremost a place to honor and remember our veterans. The location of the garden is one of the high prominence situated along the main entrance walkway leading to Chapman Hall. This is the most visible location on campus to our students, staff, and community visitors. The design includes a memorial seating area, an engraved monument area with military stepping stones for each branch of service, and the plants that make the area peaceful, attractive, welcoming, and sustainable. And right on the monument stone it says, to honor all men and women of the armed forces of the United States whose sacrifices and deeds shall be written in history and never be forgotten. Middlesex Community College Presidents, Anna Wasesha.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you all of you who've come today to Middlesex Community College for us to share this moment of garden dedication with you. A garden is an organized collection of plants. People always want to know, what is a garden? Those plants are all part of the green world that surrounds us. It surrounds us in full measure here on the hill at Middlesex, but it surrounds you everywhere you go. The green world protects us. It feeds us. It cleans the air that we breathe. It makes us peaceful. It relaxes us. We find that people heal faster when they're surrounded by the green world. I can't think of a better connection between the memorial garden here, which is dedicated to the veterans and to the people who served in the armed services for us, to protect us, our freedom and our democracy, and the fact that it's a garden, because essentially they do the same thing that gardens do. They keep us whole and healthy and happy. and we owe them a great debt of gratitude for that. So thank you all so much for joining us here today. Enjoy the garden, remember the green world, and always remember how important the armed services are to us and to our freedom and our democracy.
Next, I want to please come to the podium, Middletown Mayor Dan Drew.
Thank you, Peter, President Wasesha, Senator Doyle, Representative Sarah, members of the Common Council, veterans, students, faculty, Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here with you all today as we celebrate the opening of this incredibly important garden here on the campus of this fabulous college, of which we're all so proud. If you think about the way this country has treated veterans on and off over its history, and we go back to World War II, this country prioritized and made sure to make a point that we would take care of our veterans when they came home. In particular, that we would ensure that they had access to the highest quality education possible with the GI Bill. And we didn't do anywhere near as well when our Vietnam-era veterans came home. And we have several here today, and they deserve a thank you from all of us for what they did. So let's have a round of applause for our Vietnam veterans. With the installation and dedication of this garden today, Middlesex Community College continues its reputation as a leader in caring for students returning from service to the United States Armed Forces. Whether those students served in peacetime or whether they served in armed international conflict, those students helped to preserve and protect and defend our freedoms. The scholarship that takes place in these halls, the things about which these students learn, history, social science, mathematics, education. It's all because we have a country that enables people to think freely, that enables that type of scholarship to flow freely, because we can each pursue our own interests, because we can each pursue our own passions. The only reason that can happen at all is because there are men and women who stand ready 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, since the dawn of this republic, to go forward and defend those very principles. So many of them are here in the audience today, students, people who are with our veterans organizations, Common Council members, firefighters over here to my left, the police officers behind me, people in the audience in the back, faculty members. Veterans come from all walks of life because they represent every facet of the American experience. They represent every corner of the republic. They represent every socioeconomic category, and they represent every part of our country, every part of our state, and every part of this community. So for us to provide this, for the college to provide this here today, is going to be an extraordinary sanctuary for those men and women who are returning from service, to have a place where they can reflect quietly on that service or on any other topic that's important to them, while we still honor them here for what they did for us and what they continue to do in service to the city, this state, and this country. So it's an honor to be here on behalf of the people of Middletown to dedicate this memorial, and I want to thank Middlesex Community College. And for all of you here who are veterans and who have served our nation, thank you to each and every one of you for everything that you've done. May God bless you all, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Mayor Drew. And now, it's an honor and privilege for me to introduce the brand new Connecticut Veterans Affairs Commissioner, Sean Connelly.
Thank you, Peter. And as far as being brand new, I'll still take that. I'll take that honeymoon period. It's 6 months, actually, yesterday since I was sworn into this new role, and it's been an inspiring 6 months. Every single day I get to come to work and work on behalf of our state's veterans is a great day. So thank you, Peter, for inviting me here today. Thank you for the work that you do as the Veterans Outreach Coordinator here at Middlesex, both with touching veterans and with the Oasis Center, and now with this beautiful garden. Wonderful to be part of this day. Thank you, President Wasesha, for all of your great work on behalf of our veterans. Congratulations for once again being recognized as a military-friendly institution among the top 15% of colleges and trade schools around the country. We certainly appreciate that. Mayor Dan Drew, great to see you and be with you again. Thank you, of course, to you and to Middletown for being wonderful partners in our effort to support our veterans, particularly with our cemetery here in Middletown. The expansion groundbreaking ceremony we had just a couple of weeks. Thanks to the great South District Fire Department for always being great supporters of our events and ceremonies at the cemetery, and the police department for your great support. We certainly couldn't do all of that work without each of you. Good to see Heather Sandler of Senator Blumenthal's office, Senator Paul Doyle, and Representative Acera. Thank you all for your support in our mission to serve those who have served as well. You know, this comes at a special time, this Memorial Garden, you know, as we begin preparations just a couple of months away to honor our veterans here in Connecticut for not just Veterans Day, but Veterans Month for the month of November. We have over 200,000 veterans all across the state of Connecticut, which we're certainly proud of, coming from all different eras, you know, from World War II on. And we're looking forward to continuing to celebrate their service. It's also a special year, not only for us here in Connecticut, but for around the country, as we celebrate the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II, both in Europe in May and in the Pacific in August. Not just a couple weeks ago, it was 70 years ago that General MacArthur signed the Japan surrender aboard the USS Missouri. So we're grateful for all of our World War II veteran service. Thank you. We also commemorated this year the 50th anniversary of Vietnam, and Mayor Drew thanked you all for your service, and I do as well, and welcome all of you home. We had a great event out at the Air Base just a couple of months ago, and it's a year-long process of commemorating all of your service. Last week, we commemorated the somber day of 9/11, and we remember just this week and next will be 14 years ago as well that our military men and women began the process of deploying overseas. And since then, we've had thousands deploy over to Iraq and Afghanistan, and we have over 20,000 of post-9/11 veterans here in the state of Connecticut, and we thank all of them for their service as well. We've got great veterans from every area, including the Korean War as well, and not for them to be forgotten. So thank you for your service. Yeah, the importance of this garden is an extension of what Middlesex has been doing for a long time now, and that's honoring the dedication, the courage, the selfless service and sacrifice of our veterans, and particularly our student veterans. And that important group who will continue to lead us going forward, not just in the military, but in our communities. And when veterans come home and support us with their service in our communities, we're thankful for their leadership and their experience there as well. So I'm glad to be a part of this day. I'm also excited about, after this event, I'll get to tour the Oasis Center here at Middlesex and get to spend some time with Peter and continue to honor our veterans. So again, thank you very much. Great to be here with you. Thanks to our veterans. Have a great day.
Thank you, Commissioner Connelly. Senator Blumenthal is in Washington, D.C., so he asked Heather Sandler to come to the dedication. Heather, you want to come up to the podium? Okay, we'll hug. Veterans always hug.
So I just want to read a brief letter that the senator sent and wanted me to read on his behalf. So to the veterans of Middlesex Community College and all of the veterans here today, please let me first apologize for my absence at today's events. I am currently in Washington and unable to attend the dedication of your memorial garden. At a time when less than 1% of our nation is asked with defending the freedoms of the 99%. The work you have done in the service and here at Middlesex Community College is astounding. It's men and women like you who continue to serve your communities that make me so proud to fight for all of you in Washington. I will continue to protect the GI Bill and veterans' education benefits, access to care, swifter responses to claims and appeals, and holding the VA accountable. The sacrifices our men and women in uniform have made need to be paid in full. No more down payments. It is great to see companies like Home Depot recognize the positive impacts that veterans can and do have on their various communities. When VA Secretary Bob McDonald was here in August, he acknowledged that it takes a village to raise a child, but also takes a village to care for our veterans. You have taken a step in caring for each other. I congratulate you and thank Home Depot for their support of our nation's veterans across the country and right here in Connecticut. I hope this memorial garden will allow you and your fellow students and future students reflect and find a moment of brief solace during the day. The sustainable garden will ensure that there's always a purpose for this garden, and your legacy will continue long after you're gone. Sincerely, Richard Blumenthal. That's for you.
Thank you, Heather. And we thank Senator Blumenthal. Middlesex Community College is committed to veterans. Besides this beautiful Veterans Memorial Garden, Middlesex Community College has a Veterans Oasis Center. It not only provides a space and support for our student veterans and their families, but we also have veteran service reps from the VA, Connecticut Department of Labor, Connecticut Works, and other veteran service organizations in town that come in, hold office hours, seminars, and provide help for our veterans. As you know, any of you returning veterans from any war, you don't speak about it, you can't, because regular civilians, regular people just don't understand what a veteran has to go through. So that is the whole purpose of Veterans Oasis Center. And most every veteran organization here today has offered to come in and speak with our veterans. And here today we have State Commander Paul Spitaleri, because your Vice Commander, sorry I don't know his name or whatever, but we also have the Vietnam Veterans of America, Greater Middletown Military Museum, Ron Organic, the DAV, and the Middletown Vietnam Vets, Jerry Augustine is the commander, and vice commander is Nick Cardone, and I'm sure there are others that I have missed here. Being a Vietnam veteran, just a short story, I came home because of what happened, hung up my uniform. I didn't do anything for 35 years. And that was part of my driving force why I want this Veterans Oasis Center, because when I first started work here, I'd always wear something Marine Corps or military on me, and veterans, wherever they came from, would talk to me and speak to me. So I think it was in 2007 when Jody Rell, they came up with the idea with Linda Schwartz, got together, and they started talking about Veterans Oasis Centers. It was really a match made in heaven for people like me and all you veterans here to work with our younger veterans coming home. Now I belong to everything, but it took 35 years for me to realize that. And the whole reason why myself, and I spoke to a lot of you this morning, this is why you are here for our veterans, so they don't have to hang up their uniforms and they can be proud of their service no matter where they served. They served where they were assigned. At here at Middlesex Community College, we also have a Veterans Club, and it organizes activities that involve and support our student veterans. And the club's theme is Veterans Helping Veterans. I really do once again want to thank everybody for being here. And in closing, we will have the Middletown PBA Pipes and Drum to play Amazing Grace.